At their practice facility this morning before hosting the Washington Wizards tonight. The Spurs have lost 5 in a row, while the Wizards have won 5 straight. Despite their record, the young Spurs are getting better, and they feel they're just a few plays here and there from getting back into the win column. So what's the focus tonight?
Push the pace. Just play how we've been playing. I feel like that's just the biggest thing. I feel like we've been playing really good, just the last couple minutes of the game, or, just stuff that we did in the middle of the game, just cost us. But we've been doing really good, so I feel like we just keep doing that. We're gonna be in good hands tonight.
Spurs will host the Wizards tonight at 7. Highlights on the night beat. Washington hasn't won at San Antonio in 23 years, last doing so December 11th, 1999. Now, in case you missed it, Saturday night, LeBron James went berserk in Boston because he was fouled on this missed layup at the end of regulation. No foul was called, but the game tied at 105. After the game, the head ref admitted they missed the call. And yesterday, the NBA Referees Association tweeted, "Missing that call was gut-wrenching for us." On top of that, Lakers' Patrick Beverley grabbed the courtside camera in an effort to show ref Eric Lewis he missed the call. Today, Zach Collins was asked about Beverley's antics.
You said they thought he was fouled.
I thought it was great. I thought it was super petty, and I think. I don't know. I've never thought of doing that before, so that's pretty unique that he thought about doing that. Obviously, it was a missed call, but that was pretty funny.
Beverley was hit with a technical foul and fined $2,500 for his 8th tech this season.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
After ruling the NFC during the regular season, the Philadelphia Eagles beat the San Francisco 49ers 31-7 yesterday to claim a spot in Super Bowl 57. The Eagles knocked Niners rookie quarterback Brock Purdy out of the game in the first quarter. He returned in the second half after Josh Johnson left with a concussion, but the Niners offense just never recovered. Eagles QB Jalen Hurts knows there's still a lot of work left to do.
It's not a time for reflection. It's hard. It's really hard for me to do that. I try to, what you guys say, enjoy the moment, but my joy comes in winning. But I know the job isn't done, so I never felt like I never always knew how far we'd come. I never knew how far we'd go, but I never said it couldn't be done. So.
The AFC Championship went down to the final play when Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker drilled a 45-yard field goal with 3 seconds left to help the Chiefs edge out the Bengals 23-20 to fill up the other half of Super Bowl 57. But it's the play before that people are talking about. Bengals defensive end Joseph Osai on 3rd and 4 from the Bengals 47-yard line shoves Patrick Mahomes from behind while he was already out of bounds. Osai was flagged for unnecessary roughness, penalized 15 yards, moving the Chiefs into field goal range. So here's your Super Bowl 57 matchup between the Chiefs and Eagles Sunday, February 12th, 5:30 p.m. from Glendale, Arizona, and Philly is favored by 2.
It should be an interesting matchup.
I think it's going to be a fantastic matchup.
I hope Mahomes is completely healthy.
Mahomes.
Excellent. Still to come here at 6 o'clock, what do you know about mountain cedar? We do some myth busting and a new KSAT Explains coming up next.
It is sometimes, maybe often, called the most hated tree in Texas, mountain cedar. And some would argue for a good reason. It makes people miserable in the winter.
But at San Antonio and the Hill Country's population has grown over the years, so have a lot of myths about this tree. In today's KSAT Explains, meteorologist Sarah Spivey does some mountain cedar myth busting.
First thing to know about mountain cedar, they technically aren't cedar trees at all.
Mountain cedar is actually an ash juniper. It's in the juniper family, not the cedar family.
True cedar trees reside near the Mediterranean Sea, around Europe and northern Africa. But juniper trees do bear some resemblance to cedars.
So a lot of the explorers, when they were first coming to the western United States, encountering these trees, they just referred to them as cedars because of that resemblance.
And that's the way it's been for hundreds of years. We simply call ash juniper trees mountain cedar.
So we don't fight it anymore. We just accept it.
Cedar resides throughout Texas, even up near the DFW Metroplex, stretching into Oklahoma and parts of Arkansas. But a dense cedar forest exists in the Texas Hill Country.
Because they really thrive on limestone soils, hilly environments, areas that don't have very deep soil at all.
And it's this part of Texas, around San Antonio, Austin, and the Hill Country, where we really feel the impacts from cedar pollen.
Itchy eyes, watery eyes, sneezing fits, followed by just copious amounts of mucus, lots of tissue.
Not all cedar trees are bad for your allergies, though. Did you know that there are male and female cedar trees? And the female cedars, only distinguishable by their juniper berries, produce no pollen and no allergies whatsoever.
That's the fault of the male mountain cedar trees. Now, every December through mid-February, the male mountain cedar trees produce these cones, which have inside of them lots and lots of pollen. Now, those cones will open up when weather conditions are right, and the wind takes all of that pollen to the waiting female mountain cedar trees, and unfortunately to our eyes and sinuses as well.
There are over 35 million tons of cedar trees in the Texas Hill Country. The Texas A&M Forest Service tracks trees by weight. They spit out pollen for nearly 2 months, reaching a peak of 20 to 32,000 pollen grains per cubic meter of air, or roughly a 3-foot by 3-foot space. So it's no wonder that many grow to hate the mountain cedar and its dreaded pollen. Perhaps it's that dread that's helped inspire myths about mountain cedar. So let's do some myth busting. This is false. Mountain cedar trees are native to Central Texas.
We have geological evidence of them being here for a very long time.
In the past, people around the Texas Hill Country have used cedar wood as a natural resource, building fences and other infrastructure.
If you look at some of the old pier and beam houses, you can still see the cedar posts that are supporting those houses.
That being said, poor land management in the past 70 years or so has led to a general increase in all trees across the hill country. This includes both oaks and junipers, but it's the cedars that sprout quickly.
Whenever you take everything out, it's one of the first things to regrow.
And it's that quick regrowth of cedars that has led to the belief that the tree is invasive. But when you break it down, mountain cedar trees are undoubtedly native to Central Texas.
It's been here for tens of thousands of years, and it will be here for much longer, I'm sure.
This myth comes from the belief that cedar trees use more water than other trees across the hill country, but recent research has proved that this is false.
It's not true that they take up any more water than any of the other valued trees in our area, like an oak tree.
It is true, however, that the needles or leaves of the cedar trees trap light rain, especially when the trees are packed close together.
When they get in such dense stands, it just doesn't allow that precipitation to filter down into the soils.
But during healthy rain events, heavily forested mountain cedar can actually direct rainwater into the aquifer.
Having that dense layer of needles on the ground can really help to retain water on the ground, soak in and infiltrate, as opposed to running into creeks and rivers where it might just go away as floodwater.
We're only exposed to mountain cedar pollen for a few weeks each year. That's not enough time for our bodies to get used to the pesky pollen. So,
People don't naturally develop immunity to cedar. Once you're allergic, you're allergic.
this all has to do with our DNA. We are genetically predisposed to our allergies. So unfortunately, we're left to deal with a mountain cedar allergy year after year. Some people swear by natural allergy drops or even a tea made from the female mountain cedar juniper berries. While there's no hard evidence that these natural remedies work,
if it makes you feel better, that's okay too. There's no harm in doing those things.
The most common and effective treatment for seasonal allergies are over-the-counter medications.
But if you just are taking everything over the counter and you're just not functioning well, you can't sleep, you can't go to work, then I would definitely get to see an allergist right away.
Allergists like Dr. Dilly can provide steroids to relieve severe symptoms. And doctors can also provide the only proven long-term way to reduce a severe allergic reaction: allergy shots. These shots work by desensitizing your immune system. Through the shots, a gradually increasing amount of pollen is introduced into the body. This creates a blocking response, giving you immunity against a severe allergic reaction. And here's some good news. Allergy shots are covered by most insurance providers, though it is best for you to start allergy shots once your deductible has been met. In the city of San Antonio, it is legal to remove cedar trees from your property, and you may want to do this for various reasons. Maybe you'd rather have only oaks on your property. Maybe you just don't like the look of cedars. But if you think a few cedar trees on your land are causing your allergy issues,
remember there are thousands of them around, and depending on the prevailing winds, that pollen is still going to get you.
So love them or hate them, we've got to learn to live with Texas's most hated, and I would argue, most misunderstood tree. For KSAT Explains, I'm meteorologist Sarah Spivey.
Now, mountain cedar season usually wraps up by Valentine's Day, so we are almost there. Scan this QR code and you can check out this story and all of our KSAT Explains coverage. You can catch those stories right here on the news at 6 on Mondays. We'll be right back.
News around America. The House Energy and Commerce Committee wants to hear from TikTok CEO himself. Shouzi Chu is set to testify before the panel in March. He's expected to answer questions about TikTok's privacy and data security practices, its impact on young users, and its relationship to the Chinese Communist Party. U.S. officials worry China could use its laws to pressure TikTok or parent company ByteDance to hand over U.S. user data for intelligence and disinformation purposes. The platform has been banned on all U.S. government official devices, and more than half of the states in the U.S. have done the same thing.
Americans missing work because of illness hit a record number last year. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, almost 19 million absences were reported in 2022. Long COVID could be a factor in these absences. The CDC says that more than a quarter of U.S. adults who have had COVID-19 reported symptoms lasting 3 months or longer. Labor statistics data showing monthly absences haven't fallen below 1 million since November 2019, before the pandemic began. They peaked at 3.6 million in January 2022, when COVID cases skyrocketed during the first Omicron wave.
Take a live look outside, 34 degrees right now. And, with all the overpasses and the upper and lower decks that we have downtown, people worry about getting freezing temperatures downtown. But that does not seem to be a concern for you right now.
No, it's really not, especially not downtown. It's really just northern Bexar County, some of the far northern parts of San Antonio, and then northward into the hill country. The usual spots, that's where I think travel will become problematic. You look at the temperatures now, it's chilly out there. We're in the 30s, even a few degrees below freezing. Comfort, Kerrville at 30, Bernie at 32, along with Bulverde, Canyon Lake 34, officially 35 at the airport in San Antonio. And notice this temperature isn't going to drop much all night. We're just going to be dropping to about 34 degrees. Off and on light rain, mist, drizzle, sprinkles, a few showers. Before we look at radar and get to all the details and the highest impacts for rain, I want to talk about our temperature trend. I mean, high temperatures in the mid 30s the next couple of days. Our temperature is not going to change much from where it is right now all the way through Wednesday night. By Thursday, we're back to 50, and then Friday into the weekend, we're into the 60s. All right, we'll take a look at the radar, what's out there right now, where we've seen some icing, what kind of icing, and how big of an impact, just what kind of impact we're talking about in just a bit.
All right, the concern for ice seems pretty area specific, but no matter where you are, everybody's going to be feeling the cold, Adam.
Yeah, we're all going to feel the cold. It's just, it gets very specific to just how cold to change what type of precipitation you have. And I think around San Antonio will be just above freezing, but you get north and that's where the problems will be in terms of icing. Cold rain for most of us. Now, all the way through Wednesday. It'll be off and on in nature, but pretty widespread. Hill country icing and travel troubles, even some far northern Bexar County. We'll get into that in a moment. I do want to point out by Thursday, we're clearing out with sunshine and we're back to 50 degrees. Here's a look at the radar. Not a whole lot showing up. Really not much out there right now. Just a few very light showers. And in between those showers, we've got that mist, drizzle, light sprinkle activity. Get up into the hill country, parts of Kendall County and even up into Blanco County. This pink indicating that there's the chance of some frozen precipitation. And what I mean by that is rain that freezes when it hits an elevated object like a street sign, your car's windshield if it's been parked outside, some tree limbs, metal fence. We've seen some icing in and around Fredericksburg on those elevated surfaces. Reports from Kerrville in the elevated surfaces, and even Leon Springs. Earlier this afternoon at about 5 o'clock, we had a report of one shower leaving a light glaze on top of the trash can that's out on the street. You look around Smithson Valley, we're in Comal County here, right along 46, and there's the potential for a little bit of very light icing on the elevated surfaces. None of this is problematic quite yet, but I do anticipate it to become problematic as the hours go by, especially tomorrow and tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is when we'll probably see the heaviest precipitation and then the most significant icing in the hill country. This very bright color indicating the minor winter impacts. This is northern Bexar County, Stone Oak, Leon Springs, Helotes area, Timberwood Park, Selma, Garden Ridge, and then you get into the major impacts throughout the hill country here. All of Blanco County, Gillespie, Kerr, Kendall, northern Comal County, and even northward. It's not just our area, but you head northward in this state. I-35 from San Marcos and especially Austin northward will become very problematic, and even parts of I-10, of course, as well, as that heads through the hill country. So this is what we mean by the major impact. Around a ½ inch of rain, of ice accumulation, I should say. ½ inch of ice accumulation, maybe even up to 3/4 of an inch of ice. And when that weighs down tree limbs and power lines, they can be prone to break. So I do anticipate some power outages in this part of the hill country here. That includes you, Kerrville, Ingram, Hunt, Comfort, Candalia as well, Blanco, Fredericksburg, all included, even over toward Rock Springs. So dangerous travel as well, of course. Bridges and overpasses especially, but even the surface streets. This moderate threat zone is very narrow. Fair Oaks Ranch over toward Timberwood Park and Bulverde, even the city of Bandera, where it's not going to be as bad as farther north into the hill country, but you'll still have travel troubles and even some isolated power outages. The minor impact is here around the north side of San Antonio, north side of Bexar County, 1604 and northward. Minimal icing, mainly just some bridges and overpasses. And again, that's 1604 and northward. The worst would be tomorrow night on into Wednesday morning. Quick look at our temperatures. Air temperatures below freezing, but what we talked about earlier at 6 o'clock, road temperatures are still in the upper 30s. So that's good, but unfortunately, they'll keep dropping. We've got this southwesterly flow, this warmer air rising up and above the cold air at the ground. This upper level low near Los Angeles, it's funneling in the moisture from the Pacific and the upper levels, lower level moisture in place as well. This upper disturbance isn't going to be behind us until we get into Thursday, Friday time frame. Quick look at the futurecast. Very light activity tonight. Coming and going light activity even on into tomorrow and throughout the day. The heaviest, which will be indicated here by the futurecast, is tomorrow night on through about midday Wednesday. And that's when you see this activity start to pick up here. Notice 11 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 a.m. Start to see some heavier accumulations. And keep in mind, this will become actually some beneficial rain for us around town, just becoming problematic, of course, for our friends in the hill country. 30s for temperatures through Wednesday. Thursday, we're up to 50. Friday this weekend, we're in the 60s. We'll be live on the KSAT Weather Authority app, updating you periodically as well.
All right. Sounds good, Adam. Thank you.
We'll be right back. In the buzz today, for most of us, Valentine's Day includes the giving or receiving of chocolate, and a new study claims to show the scientific reason why we love chocolate so much. Researchers in the UK built a 3D model of a human tongue, and they used it to discover more about the tasting experience of dark chocolate. Now, they identified that it all comes down to the chemistry and how the outer layer of the chocolate, that's mainly the fat, melts in a person's mouth.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not showing that 3D rendering of the human tongue. By the way, first, chocolate comes in contact with a person's tongue, hits their taste buds, then the chocolate starts to melt, becomes silky smooth as the fat dissolves. Finally, saliva mixes with the solid cocoa particles. It breaks down to sugar crystals. That's when people get a rush of happy, boosting endorphins. The researchers tell the Washington Post chocolate does not need a lot of fat. It just needs to be coated in fat.
Is it weird? I kind of want to see the human.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
3D
I'm okay.
tongue. No,
I know what one looks like.
Well, don't feel too bad if you're too busy to keep your house as clean as you want. The star of the Netflix show Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, well, apparently she faces the same problem these days. In fact, tidying up is no longer on top of Kondo's to-do list.
Yeah, the Queen of Clean wrote on her website that she gave up her need for perfection after having her second daughter. Happens to a lot of us.
Yes,
and
it
since
does.
her third child in 2021, Kondo has learned to cut herself some slack. 38-year-old, yeah, I know, said at a recent event that her home is, quote, messy. She's spending her time in a way that's appropriate for this stage of her life.
I like
Bravo.
it. We'll be right back.
Off and on, light rain, mist, drizzle, more of the same throughout the day tomorrow. And notice our temperature right now at 34, staying there all night and not really changing throughout the day tomorrow. It's going to be problematic, though, in the hill country. And that's where we'll have the icing and more significant icing as you get up into Kerr County, Kendall County, Blanco County, even northern Bandera County and northern Comal counties. That's where the threat for power outages is a serious issue over the next few days.
All right, lots to watch. Thanks, Adam, and thank you for watching.
See you at 10.